All right, wait until you see this Southern Snapshot. You're going to meet two guys who have been making canoes in Quassville, Tennessee for more than 40 years. Our Casey Orr takes us inside their incredible workshop.
When it comes to building canoes, Randy Pugh and Scott Hale have the art form down to a science. Each canoe is handmade the good old-fashioned way, paying close attention to the slightest details. A family craft that's been passed on for generations.
The company started, as close as we can remember, is 1954. My grandfather, Lemuel Beach Sr., started the company up in Merrimack, New Hampshire, in his carport. And he grew up in the state of Maine, and at the age of 16, he was a hunting and fishing guide for the state of Maine. And he used the wooden canvas boats, which were, you know, they've been, for hundreds of years, they've been making them. And when fiberglass canoes came on the market, he didn't like the looks of the fiberglass boat, so he got the idea of a thin fiberglass hull reinforced with the wooden ribs. And his motto was the fiberglass canoe that looks like a canoe.
Lemuel Beach turned his idea into a quality boat in high demand. From that point on, he constructed one boat per week until he passed away. That's when Randy's father stepped up to the plate to keep Lemuel's dream alive. When Randy turned 15, he began to take part in the boat construction.
My dad just let me do whatever I wanted. He showed me how the machinery worked, table saw, and I remember one of my first projects was a little wooden clock and nicked a finger. And that was my first experience of sticks and things. But it was basically just watching Dad do the things he did, and you know, he'd explain why he was doing it. But I basically started doing everything. So I was the one that hung out most of the time and liked to work with my hands. It's been 42 years, and I think only maybe 5 years in the Army and stuff out of the 42 I haven't been here building.
When his family moved to Cumberland County, building canoes became a group project. All 6 members of the Pugh family held a significant role in the business. Although most of the family members found new interests as the years went by, Randy remained faithful to the canoe craftsmanship tradition, keeping the Merrimack name going.
It starts in the basement with our molds. We build our own fiberglass molds, and we have a mold, one mold for each model. And the first thing that happens is we spray the color in. And the next thing we do is we lay up 3 layers. The first layer is a fiberglass 6-ounce layer, and we wet it out with a vinyl ester resin. And we roll it out, get all the air bubbles out of it. Then we put a layer of 5-ounce Kevlar.
Kevlar is a very durable yet lightweight material. It's 5 times stronger than steel and used in bulletproof vests and helmets.
It's hard to puncture and break. So that's the hidden layer between. Then the next stage we come in and we put the ribs in. The cherry ribs are a 1/16 of an inch thick. And we put them in and wet them out with the same resin, and they set for a day, curing out real good, and then we just lay a couple layers of vinyl ester to finish the inside out.
To ensure a quality product, the Merrimack duo can only produce 2 canoes a week, averaging about 100 per year, but the outcome is worth the wait. In 2005, Randy sold the company to a couple out of Tallahassee, Florida. He and Scott agreed to build the boats while the new owners handled the marketing and sales, letting builders Scott and Randy focus on what they love most, simply putting the boats together. Although these canoes are a bit more pricey, you get a lightweight, one-of-a-kind boat that isn't mass-produced and sitting in a warehouse. The canoes are truly a work of art and are considered to be family heirlooms, custom-built in Quassville and shipped all over the world. Even celebrities are taken with the Merrimack craftsmanship.
In 2004, we got a call from a guy in LA, said his client wanted some canoes for a wedding party. He wanted to rent them, and I said, well, we custom build. At the time, me and Scott were just building canoes for people who wanted them. Guy called me back 2 weeks, said it was Kevin Costner. He had one of our boats, and he wanted 4 more for a party in Aspen, Colorado, at his ranch, for a party of about 300 people, just things from. So we built him 4 boats, and I had an extra boat here. Me and my wife went out there, met him, and he bought all 5 boats. So he's got more boats than any individual. He's got 6 boats.
Like many other canoe brands, Merrimack makes all kinds of different models. Randy likes to compare them to automobiles.
You have a family wagon to carry a bunch of kids, or a minivan. You have a pickup truck to haul gear. Same way with canoes. You wouldn't take a a flat bottom keeled canoe and a keel running the length down a whitewater river because you couldn't maneuver it and handle it as well. But on an open lake, a whitewater canoe would be blown around and wouldn't track straight because of the curves on the bottom and such. So each use, is no one canoe that'll do everything perfect. There's a few models that you can do a little bit of everything with. This is what all the hard work and long hours is all about. Is I know someday someone will be enjoying my work out on a river like this. Whether it's fishing or just playing around, this is what it's all about right here.
Up next, beautiful music from handmade guitars. Our next stop as we travel along, how about Wartrace, Tennessee?